It's finally December! So today, I am an advent calendar. But it's actually the second. Hey guys, today is the second installment of my SoCraftastic Christmas series, and I'm going to show you how to make a duct tape gift box. I'm sure you duct tapers are screaming right now because I haven't done duct tape in forever. Also, since Christmas and the holidays are coming up so soon, I wanted to give back to you guys by giving you an iPhone 7! Seriously, I don't even have an iPhone 7 yet. I have an iPhone 6, but it has a cat case, so I'm happy. It's gold and it's 128 gigabytes of awesomeness because I don't want you guys to run out of room to store your music and videos and pictures because I have had that happen to me in the past. Not cool. So for any of you who are interested in entering the giveaway for a chance to win this iPhone, all you have to do is leave a comment below and tell me what kinds of videos you like to see most on my channel. Like, what are your favorite videos that I've ever posted or things that you want to see in the future. Also, at the end of that comment, please add that you're entering, or just add that you're not entering if you don't want to enter. But you can still leave a comment. And of course, be subscribed to this channel. Full details of all the rules will be listed below. It is international, by the way, so worldwide, you guys all have a chance to win. Now it's time for the tape. Let's go. For this project, you'll of course need some duct tape. It is a duct tape box, but you can choose to make it out of one color or use a few. I'm also using an X-Acto knife, a pair of scissors, non-stick will work best if you have those, a ruler, and a cutting mat. I got this one from Walmart, but I also have a different one that I got from Michael's, so you can find them at different places, of course. String lights are optional. I got these from Pier 1, and the cool thing is that they actually have a wire and they're bendy, and then they have a battery box. So if you want some cool lights this Christmas, definitely go for those. Anyway, back into the duct tape part of this, I set up all my supplies, and now we are going to work on creating the box. So here's one that I already made. That's why the cutting board is all covered with tape scraps already. Basically, I'm going to teach you how to create duct tape sheets so you can create both halves of your box. This pastel purple piece is an example of what we're about to create. After you have chosen which color or pattern of tape that you want, roll out a piece that is 2 inches longer than what you want your box to actually be in the end. I want my strip to be 5 inches, so I'm just going to cut it off, make sure you get all the creases out and make it as flat as possible. And then of course add a little bit of extra just to hang over. Now add a second strip because you want to create a square at this point. So you want both ways to be 5 inches after trimming the uneven parts. When you stick the second strip on, you want it to overlap a little bit. Here's an example of trimming with scissors, and the non-stick, like I said at the beginning, will work so much better than a normal pair because the tape won't stick to them. And then I'm just finishing off by putting a third strip and overlapping that a little bit and cutting it off at the end. And don't worry that it looks uneven. Like I said, we're about to fix that. So now I'm taking the ruler and I am going to put that at the 5-inch line and make sure it's lined up really straight. Hold it down firmly, and I am taking my X-Acto blade and I am just cutting straight down along the ruler. A metal ruler definitely would do a better job than a plastic ruler because I've accidentally cut little slivers off of my plastic ruler, so it is up to you. If you have a metal one, I would go with that, but you can do it with either. And of course, go over to the other side and trim off all that excess at the 0 line. Then you can go ahead and peel the excess off, and sometimes it'll come off in one strip, other times you'll have to peel it away in different pieces. It's all good. Now, very carefully, you're going to peel all these pieces away so they're still stuck together. It came off pretty easily. It took me a little bit, but just go ahead and do that as carefully as possible so none of them rip apart. If you have it overlapped enough, they shouldn't come apart easily. Take that off, of course, and flip it over so the sticky side is up. Get your fingers all unstuck from that. So here's my test box. You can see that it's fairly flimsy. It doesn't really hold a shape very well. And I want to use glitter duct tape, which is actually even thinner than the regular kinds of duct tape. So in order to make this box have more stability, I am going to put a piece of cardstock on top of the tape like so. And this piece of cardstock paper is obviously smaller, but all you have to do is flip the tape over and cut off that excess at the top and just stick it to any excess stickiness. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? But no, just you can see what I'm doing here. Just go ahead and stick and cover all of the stickiness with the paper until there's nothing else to cover, and then trim off all of the paper that hangs off over the edges. Now that I've finished that, I'm going to stick the glitter duct tape just the same way that we did at the very beginning. You're gonna stick 3 pieces. It depends, of course, on how long your tape is to begin with, but for me, I'm gonna be taping 3, so make sure it hangs off over the edges a little bit so you can clean it up and make it nice and straight. 1, 2, and remember to overlap so there's no paper showing through, and then 3. And after that 3rd piece, of course, like I said, there's gonna be some excess hanging off, and I just trim that away. And there's actually a side that I didn't trim down at the beginning, so it's 5.5. I want to trim that down to 5 to make it a perfect square. Since there's no stickiness left on this piece, I'm taking those scrap pieces that I just cut away to hold it down and keep it in place while I put the ruler down at the 5 line. And then I'm taking my X-Acto knife and just trimming it away. And you might have to do it a few times depending on how hard you can push it down, because there's 3 layers now to trim through, and I definitely had to give it a couple goes. The next step is going to be, you're going to cut a square in every single corner, so 4 corners. And you can tell that this purple piece is bigger, but you get the idea. You'll still want to trim off an inch square from every corner. I already have a guide because I cut that from one of my first boxes, and you're just going to use that as a template basically. I just find it a lot easier to have something like this to put on and just cut around, and you don't have to measure every time, which is nice for people like me who do not like to measure. I trimmed the square off of every corner, all 4 of them, and now what we're going to work on is doing this little fold over line. So the way that you're going to do this is just cut through 1 layer of tape, and you can cut through 1 layer of tape plus the paper, that's fine. So line up your ruler at the edge of 2 of the square cutouts like so. I don't know how to explain that actually. Just make sure that you don't cut all the way through like I said. And you're going to do that for 4 of the sides, all 4 sides. And now we're going to work on the top of the box, which is made basically the same way, except you're going to want this to be a hair bigger of a square. So I'm basically going to make this about 5 1/16 of an inch, which basically just means go a little bit further than the 5 line, but not quite to that tiny other line. I know I have people watching from all over the world and you guys use centimeters, so I'll try and do conversions on the screen. If not, you guys can go do a Google converter. It's very easy. But I'm a weird USA citizen and, you know, we use inches and stuff. I don't know what we were thinking. So I laid down those 3 pieces of tape, overlapped them, you know the drill, and then I of course trimmed. I didn't trim the top part yet, I do that at the end for whatever reason, I just find it easier. But I'm peeling that off carefully, and then I'm flipping it over, and with this color I actually have a normal sized piece of paper, so I don't have to do any of that trimming stuff. I just want to put it on. And you want to try and do this a little bit more carefully and slowly than I just did, because you can get wrinkles and creases, which would be really bad. Luckily I was able to smooth mine out, but you don't want any of that. Paper on, check, and paper trimmed, check. So now we're moving on to the second color or pattern of tape. I got the piece laid out, and I'm carefully going to stick that on and have some overlap. Cut it, and of course, you know, I'm going to add a second piece and overlap it and cut it, and then a 3rd and final piece, overlap and cut, bam! Now, just kind of compare that to the bottom, and you are going to make sure that it's just a tiny bit longer on each side here. So trim that off, and of course, cut away the corners. And then you're going to make those crease lines that are just kind of halfway through so you can fold the box better. The thing with this is that both flaps on the top and bottom are the same length, so they're each an inch long. As you can see, the top is going to cover the bottom and you're not going to see any of the silver glitter. If that's cool with you and you want your box to look like this, then you are done. Well, not done yet, but you don't have to worry about trimming the sides. But I want mine to be more like this cardboard box that I got from a Tulsa art festival, which I'll show you what's inside at the end, by the way. I just cut about a 1/3 of an inch off, almost half an inch off. You can see it's just kind of over the halfway line there. And I'm going to do this for all 4 sides. Once that's complete, then you're going to join your box flaps together at the corners. And for this, you really don't need an explanation, but I'm going to show you what I did anyway. So I put a scrap piece in on the inside, which is a silver for me. Make sure that none hangs over the edge like this, and make sure that it's hidden inside like so. But just one piece inside is not cutting it. So then I decided to put a scrap piece on the outside. And I just stuck that on at the corner, and I just cut a little slit at the part that hung over. But then I decided I want it to be hidden inside, so I folded them over like so, little tabs. And after those were folded and stuck down, then I put the silver tape inside back over it. And I'm sorry that my sentences are so long and it sounds like I'm not breathing, because I'm not. And I'm talking a lot, but I'm just trying to get everything in so you guys understand. Capiche? I am reminded of Uncle Jesse from Full House, and I really need to see Fuller House. I need to get Netflix. I do not have Netflix. What is wrong with me? You can put anything that you want that is pretty small inside of this. Maybe a bow necklace, or some Pokemon Perla bead creations, a pin from my favorite city, a unicorn polymer clay charm, some bottle cap macarons. Or if your box is big enough, which this one isn't, but if you do a 6-inch one at the beginning, it should be, you can put a gift card inside. For all you duct tapers who have been asking for a duct tape video for so long, here it is, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And another thing, for those of you who like duct tape and are new to my channel, you can see here that instead of just adding a normal store-bought ribbon bow, you can make it out of duct tape if you are feeling adventurous, because it's pretty small. But I show you how to make a larger version, and you could just kind of tiny it down to make a duct tape bow. So I'll link this duct tape bow video in the description box below so you guys can go see it. Finally, as I promised, here's what's inside the box. These beautiful handmade earrings that I got from Mayfest in downtown Tulsa. These people have no idea that I have a YouTube, at least I don't have any knowledge of them knowing. So this is in no way meant to be an ad. It is just a kind gesture from one artist to another. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. My duct tape collection video will be coming soon, and I plan to have a duct tape giveaway in that video, so get excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am just so happy today because I feel so festive, and I'm so excited for you guys to win this phone, well, one of you to win this phone. And I'm going to be having more giveaways this month, and hopefully more throughout next year as well, because it's been too long since I've done a giveaway. You guys probably agree. And if you're interested in seeing more about like my personal life and stuff, you can go on over to my vlog channel, which is Live Love Sarah Lynn. I am doing Vlogmas. I'm going to be posting my second Vlogmas video tonight after I get this one up. I also try to keep you guys up to date on my social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, so go follow me on those places if you want to. I will be back with a new video very soon. I should be posting my duct tape collection next, but if not, I'll see you next Friday for another DIY. Bye! Thank you guys. My voice just cracked. Let's get into the tutorial. What am I doing in my video? Oh my gosh.